Grab your pillow, chill with your boy Brillo. I'm back with another video. If you come across this video, like and subscribe. Show your boy some love. I'm just getting started. To everybody that subscribed already and showing me love, thank y'all. Thank y'all. It mean a lot. We know we locked in. To the haters, please be quiet. You don't serve a purpose. All you doing is pouring gas on a flame. And guess what? I'm that flame. With that being said, let's get started with today's video. Today we're doing our first reaction and recap video for episode 8. And episode 8 was pure fire, y'all. Let's jump right into it. First, we're going to talk about Jukebox. Jukebox episode. Of course, Jukebox was going through with this episode, y'all. And the actress that played Jukebox killed it. She didn't have many lines, but her facial expressions throughout, you could tell she was just going through it. It starts off with Jukebox. She shows up to the funeral. And who's there with her? None other than her cousin, Kanan, is there to support her. So they go into the funeral hall. And as soon as they get up there, of course, the mom comes over and kicks them out. Kicks them out the funeral. And Jukebox, she doesn't make a big ruckus. She just gets up and go. And Kanan's like, you know what I'm saying? You know, my cousin really loved your daughter. And the dad sitting there looking, you know, like he understands. But the mom, of course, she just going off. But Jukebox was going through it this episode, of course. And at this time, she didn't even know that white girl Nick died off the blue tops. She had no idea. So she gets rid of Kanan real quick. Kanan, of course, wants to support her, but she tells Kanan, I had to do something by myself. So what is she going to do? Next time you see Jukebox, she's parked in front of the house, in front of white girl Nick's house, just doing a little recon. She waits for them to leave, and what does she do? She breaks in the house. She breaks in the house, goes upstairs to Nicole's room, start going through her stuff. She pops in the tape of them singing in the mall. Just a sad, sad scene. And then she's just watching the tape and she's just boo-hooing, just crying. And you can see the pain in her face. She just lost the love of her life. She is just crying and crying and crying. Of course, she finds the tape that Nicole had gave to her. And her parents comes and she gets caught. And her dad comes in first and tries to warn Jukebox to get out of there. But of course, you know, his wife comes in. His wife comes in screaming and yelling, telling Jukebox that she murdered her. And this is when Jukebox finds out that her sweetheart died off the Mo Better blue tops that made her heart stop. So the police is there at this time. So they cuff Jukebox and you don't know what's going to happen. But lucky for Jukebox, she has friends in high places. Because the cops that's going to take her off to jail or whatever they're taking her, they let her go because Detective Burke catches wind of it and shows Jukebox some love. So they let Jukebox go out the car. And they let her out in the middle of nowhere and she just walks off. Which brings me to Detective Howard. Detective Howard had a great episode, y'all. This was his best episode, the most entertaining to me. Howard was giving me different. He's fighting for his life right now. So he's fighting for his life. First time we see him, they investigating the blue top. These fiends are dropping. They investigating. He does not really care about the fiends. He says a victim of this crime. Let's just get this done with. But he tries to throw his partner a bone because she's adamant about it's wrong. It's a crime. It's murder. She's very adamant about it. So of course, they go to one of the fiends. They pay him a little money, and he tell them, Lil Rob and them was pumping them blue tops, and Lil Rob is at the strip club. He always at the strip club. So they go press Lil Rob. And just like I said, they didn't even have to apply much pressure to Boy. Boy was singing like a canary. I mean, he couldn't even do a day in jail. So they threw the cuffs on him and told him some fake charges. He started singing like a canary. And who did he tell on? None other than Kanan Stark. This dude named Kanan cooked it up. And the Detective Burke like, Kanan Stark, let's go get him. And Howard like, no. That's my boy. Just wait on that. I need to do some recon. So then, of course, Howard pulls off a rock. He tells her about everything that's going on in the streets. So this is planting the seeds for him. I'm finally ready to call it, y'all. He is going to get that marrow because Kanan is officially jammed up. Kanan is officially jammed up. He is about to get the marrow because he applied pressure to Rock. And this episode also answered a lot of questions for us. Yes, Rock was 16 when Howard started messing with her. And actually, they threw a little seed in there and let us know that DEFCON was actually gay. And Rock was his cover in the game. So DEFCON was gay, and DEFCON knew that Howard was the father and didn't really care because it helped him in the streets to have a baby out here so people wouldn't think that he was gay. That was an interesting tidbit. So thanks for answering those questions for us, Power. But Howard is applying pressure to her. He tells her, I need to talk to Kanan or it's a wrap, basically. You're going to tell him what's going on. So Rock has to think about that. So, okay, now let's finally get to talking about Rock, the queen pin. First time we even see Rock, this is before Howard even pulled her over. First time we see Rock, she's finally getting her hands dirty, making it personal. And who is she clapping? You said, who is she clapping? Finally claps Poppy. And the way they did this setup was flawless. Liliana should win an Academy Award for her performance. So she's in there making Poppy breakfast. She spills coffee on him on purpose. Of course, he goes crazy. He tries to beat her up. She's throwing stuff on him, running all around. So she runs outside. She finally runs into like the garage work area. And Rock is there. Silencer on, all black. And she double taps him. Pap, pap. Shoot him a couple times and he's dead. Simple as that. That was the plan. So, and then she tells her, call your cousin. So, of course, she calls her cousin and the store clerk is doing a great job acting like she's sad that this jerk is dead. She did a great job. And this is what put Rock ultimately in the room with the connect again. And I think she's going to solidify that connect, right? Wrong. The connect is on point. He tells her, I've been following you around. What are you doing talking to the detective? And then they all pull out guns and it's over for Rock, right? Wrong. She gets herself out of that jam by telling the connect, yeah, of course, Howard is working for me. You tell me a gangster that don't have a cop in their payroll, and I'll show you an idiot. So what I'm gonna do? I killed Juliana's husband. So you're gonna tell me I was getting my hands dirty and then going to snitch to Detective Howard? So that took kind of took the sting out of the room. Everybody puts the guns away, and she's still working their relationship with the connect. And she'll have the connect by next episode. She'll be solidified and have the connect by next episode. So after that, of course, she gets. Before that, she got pulled over by Howard. I already told you about that. But she goes back to the house, and she calls. Kanan is working out, getting his little pull-up bar on, and she calls Kanan down, and they have a conversation. And a lot of things we learn from this conversation. From this conversation, we learn why Marvin went to jail. So she basically, they having a back and forth. Kanan tell her that this was his idea, whatever. And they having back and forth. He's out of pocket. So Rock slapped fire out that boy. Finally, bam, goes off on him and tell him, look, you don't know stuff. You think you know, but you don't know. Guess what? I killed D-Wiz. And whose fault is that? That's your fault. Because everything that's messing up with my organization, basically, you did it. So you need to get it together. So Kanan is stunned. He's shocked. He's like, man, she finally told him about D-Wiz. So, and she told him why Marvin went to jail. And Marvin went to jail because he was actually an addict. He was an addict, and he was so high when they arrested him, he offered to sell the police a 25, which is crazy. That boy was to the moon, which explains a lot to why Marvin would not do drugs with Tony. He wouldn't do a line. I expected him to do a line, because that was what they did back then. Which and probably why he stopped messing with Tony because she's a cokehead in the end. So that's why Marvin got to jail. Of course, they have an argument. She smacked him to the ground. Kanan he doesn't do nothing to his mom, of course. He just walks out the room. He's mad, but this is going to create dissension between them two. And they're not going to have that same relationship. Kanan's going to be looking at his mother a little different. I think Kanan's going to go out on his own. I think he might actually leave home or something. I don't see him staying too much under Rock's thumb. He already doesn't listen to her at all. So next, Rock has to go pay a visit to Marvin. So she goes to the Carter. Of course, they're doing a little construction. It's almost done. She sends everybody out the room, and bam, she hits Marvin with a 2x4. Funny, hits him a couple times and tells him, "I don't ever want to see you again. You out the family." By this time, Marvin is shocked. Marvin is a real G. Marvin is shocked. He could, of course, took the 2x4 from his little sister, but he's such a G. He's not gonna lay hands on a woman, especially Rock. So he shows her that respect. He leaves. You could tell he's a little sad because she went off on him. Come on, she went off on him. And she tells him, "Get the rest of the work you got and take it over to Lulu's." Tells him, "Get the rest of the work you got, take it over to Lulu's." Which brings me to my man Lulu. Lulu had a good episode, y'all. Of course, he bossed up on Clown Camacho, went in there with his lawyer, and now he has 50% of the record label. Went in there and finessed Crown Camacho. So to all the people who were saying, "Lulu stupid, he just spending his money. There was a dumb move. He just spending money." Yeah, it was part of the plan. Now he's 50% owner. And you know how much money they can wash with a record label. They can have concerts that they didn't have. They could watch the money, so, and not to mention they could actually make money. It might work. But before I get too far into Lulu, I just want to talk about Unique for a minute. Unique is, man, I didn't like Unique this episode. Usually I like him, but just like I said before, in my prediction video, Unique is very reactionary, meaning he reacts to things. I don't like the way he treats his crew. He won't even listen to them. Like, he went totally off because he thinks that Rock had something to do with the blue tops and the cops coming around. So Warrell's trying to tell him, like, yeah, I don't think it's that. So he's just going off, throwing a temper tantrum. And he decides that he wants to shoot something up and light something up and get it smoky. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Like, Unique is reactionary. He's a bully. He thinks he's won the war already, but I mean, it's, whenever you think you won, you basically already lost. So let's go back to Brother Lou. Of course, he gets 50% of the company, him and his lawyer, and he's at home chilling with Jessica. And all Jessica wants to talk about is, of course, famous. And then Lulu finally does something that I like. He goes off on Jessica, telling her, you're not ever satisfied. This and this, he just tells her about herself. Like, look, you need to just chill out for a minute. Nothing's never gonna make you happy. And she actually comes out and says it. Unlike you, I'm never gonna be satisfied. How do you say something like that? So nothing this man does is ever gonna make you happy. He needs to let her go. Let her go. You don't need her, Lulu. I'll give her this. She did put the battery in Lulu back to go and pursue his music dreams. However, she only did that because it can help her. She didn't do that to help Lulu at all. At all. So after that, she leaves, of course. Lulu's listening to his little old school music, chilling, vibing. He gets a call from Rock that says he's up. He kind of ignores the call because at this point, Lulu wants out the game. Because before that, Rock even starts pressing him about Unique. And he tells her, like, look, I'm loyal. I wouldn't flip. You know this. Why are you even asking me this? It was lightweight, disrespectful by the Rock. Don't even come on, Brother Lou, like this. So, Lulu's vibing to his little old school jams. And who pulls up outside? But the crew, Unique's crew and me. And then when I say that, light it up. Molotov cocktails, guns blazing. Like and Lulu gets a couple shots off, but the building is engulfed. I mean, the house is on fire. There's so much going on. Lulu tries to get shots off. And yeah, they really put it on Lulu. And who comes to save the day? None other than Marvin, who's messing up another $100,000 car, trying to save his brother. He was going to drop the work back off. He had just got kicked out of the family business. And what does he see? See him pressing Lulu, shooting the house up. So he goes, saves the day, gets Lulu out of the house. And this brings us to the question. Is brother Lulu dead? I'm going to say no. That he was knocked out. He looked dead at the end. Marvy did the cheesy little, somebody help us. That was funny. That was real funny. But no, I don't think Lulu is dead. They didn't show holes in him. I think he's going to be all right. But that was the episode, y'all. If I missed something, this is my first reaction, and it was pure fire. One of the best episodes that we had. I can't wait to watch it one more time. I only watched it one time, and I had to make this video. I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm gonna end it right now. The episode was fire. I don't do much. With that being said, I don't do much. I'm gonna turn up. Oh, like and subscribe, please. Show your boy some love. Let's go ahead and lock in. Be on the lookout for everything and anything power. Come holler at your boy Brillo early.